Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to look at CallRail and how to install this on a WordPress website. So first of all, you're going to need a CallRail account. You're going to have it set up. I'm already logged in here, so basically you would see a screen similar to this. What we're going to want to do is go into the settings tab here, and inside of here there is this box called dynamic number insertion. It's under popular because, well, it's a pretty popular feature. You pretty much want to use it on everything. If you can't find it there, it's probably going to be somewhere down here under all integrations. But since it's up here, we'll go ahead and click on this. Now you can see here the script is provided, and this is where you're going to pull the script from. So basically you would just copy this and then paste it into the website. I'll show you how to do that in a bit, but for now let's kind of talk about how it works. So with CallRail, basically all you do is you put this script where you want CallRail to be active, right? So for example, it's not on here yet, but we would add it on here, and that's the first thing you need. Number two is you need numbers set up. So we would go into the numbers tab here, and basically we would create a new numbers. So we already have numbers set up, and this is a live account, so I don't want to create anything new, but we have a keyword pool here, and for example, I will edit this one just to show you what's going on in the settings. So we have the number pool options, and then we have the insertion options. Key things to note here: swap target and forward target. These do not need to be the same. In other words, you can have different number be swapped and have it dial a separate number. In most instances, you'll have the exact same number, but if you've ever encountered anything weird, that could be why, like if it isn't working. So for this, we have our number here set up as 408124822. That is our paracore number, and as you can see here, I set up a local environment, a dummy WordPress website that shows all formats, well, not all formats, a good chunk of formats for our phone number. CallRail is smart and will actually replace the number in the same format that you actually have it in here. So I put a bunch in here so that way you can see how it affects it, including a country code, which some websites do have. It will actually retain that. In addition to that, when you actually click to call, it will update the number, if you could see on the bottom left of the window. So these numbers here are all text, which means they're directly on the website. As you can see here, I can highlight it. Now, CallRail does have a feature to allow images to be swapped that contain a phone number. We'll get into that later, but a lot of websites will have banners, headers, heroes, whatever, that have an image with a phone number. Now, CallRail isn't limited to just text here. We can actually get the images to swap too. Again, we'll talk about that later in the video. So a little bit about settings, because the phone number settings do matter in how it works and how it's swapped. In our context here, we have a pool that swaps from all sources, which means anybody who visits the website that has the script on it will get a number swap. Simple enough, right? All. Very straightforward. We have things in here that you can see. These are call extensions, so they don't really apply to the website, but you can set a CallRail number to only swap from a Google paid source, a Bing source, etc. It doesn't need to be all. For instance, if you want specific numbers for specific platforms, you can totally do that. That's fine. So here's a little bit of context around how the CallRail script works. In addition to just looking for the number or the image source stuff that we'll go over later, that'll swap it with the CallRail number. It'll actually place a cookie in your browser, which lets CallRail know where you came from originally. So here's a perfect example, like a real world example that happens all the time. Say you Google an ad, you click on that ad, and it gives you the special URL. The main thing it's looking for is this parameter here. You don't really need to know too many details about that. But basically, CallRail looks for this parameter and says, hey, this person came from a Google ad. Now, it's going to swap the number as long as you have a phone number here set up as Google paid or all. I mean, all works too. But in this context, I'm talking about a Google paid call tracking number. So when that happens, CallRail actually puts a cookie on your browser, so that way it knows you came from an ad. Now you're probably asking, why would CallRail do that? Now the reason being is because not everybody would call the number the first time. Say they're searching around, they're looking at other competitors, whatever's going on in the user's mind, they didn't convert yet. Now, they know your site, they know your brand. If they come back and they don't Google it, and they just go to the website itself, and they end up here. Now, it's not going to have the parameters and all that junk in there that lets CallRail know, hey, this person came from a Google ad. So that's where the cookie comes into play. The cookie says, hey, this user was here before, and they came from a Google ad, which means swap the number again. Now I don't have the script installed, so it's not showing you here. But again, we'll go over that later in the video. I'll show you some real examples, in this dummy environment to show you how that kind of reacts. Okay, now let's actually get this moving forward. We have the script. We kind of understand how it works, at least on a basic level. We're gonna go ahead and install that in WordPress. Now in WordPress, there's quite a few ways to do this, and some are better than others, and there's reasons why. I can talk over that when I actually get this installed. But basically, we're going to grab the script. So I'm gonna go into settings here, dynamic number insertion, and the script here. We can either paste this script directly into the theme as one option. 2, we can get a plugin which allows you to insert scripts into the header or footer. Or 3, a theme sometimes has a field to add in scripts to the header or footer. And then 4, which is probably what you're going to do, is use the CallRail plugin. Now, CallRail created a WordPress plugin to make this easier for users, and it's really simple to install and get it connected. What you're going to do is you're going to log into your WordPress admin panel, right, for example. So now I'm already logged in, but we're just going to go here. And we're going to go into plugins. So we're going to go to add new. And when we do this, it's simple. We're just going to search for CallRail. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's CallRail. So we see this plugin here. There's a couple others. Ignore those. It's not really CallRail. This is the official one, as you can see, by CallRail Inc. We're going to go ahead and install this. Now, once it's installed, you're going to have to go ahead and activate the plugin. We'll go ahead and do that now. You can see it's active. Now we have to add our WordPress plugin key, which basically tells it, hey, this is our account. Can you please load in the script? So if you don't know where to find that, it's actually really easy, and you can even click this where it'll tell you. Basically, you'll go in here, you'll see your key for whichever client. I actually do need to show you this, but I'll clip out all the ones that are not applicable. So we'll go ahead and copy this key, and we're going to go in here, paste that, and then hit save changes. Now this is going to be blurred out because I can't show you guys this. This is very private information. If you get this, that means anybody can connect it to your account. So be very cautious of this key. You don't want to show this to anybody. This is kind of like your own key. Think of it as like a password. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go and save this. And it will be connected. So this will basically add the script, and I can show you that by visiting the website. And if I were to inspect this source, and basically what I'm going to do here is just take a snippet from the script, and it's probably the account ID. So we're going to do this, and we're just going to search for it. Now when we search, we can see it comes up here, CallRail WordPress integration. It's loading the script. This is the exact same script as this. It just makes it a lot easier for the user to do because it's all in the CMS in WordPress through the plugin. You don't have to do you don't need like any coding experience, whatever. It's super easy. So we have that installed. That's cool. That's the first way to do it. Or I guess I listed it as 4th, but it doesn't matter. That's the primary way you're going to do it. Now there's a few other ways, and we're going to go ahead and disable this so that way I could show you those other ways to install this. So we're going to go ahead and deactivate this plugin. And what else did I say? So 1, you can add it directly to the theme. Now this is one I highly do not recommend because 1, if you have a theme that you purchased or a theme that gets updated regularly, anytime that theme gets updated, this will be removed. Now there are ways around that using a child theme, but that's too detailed for this video, so we're not going to do that. But I'm just going to show you just in case. Say you have one theme, you never update it, it's a custom one, whatever, you have your developer added in, that also works. But in WordPress, there's actually an editor for themes, so you can edit directly in the CMS, and you don't need FTP or SSH access, anything like that. So in this context, again, we're going to be in the admin panel. I'm going to go to Appearance here. We're going to go to Editor. And inside Editor, we're going to have to select the theme we are using. Now, I actually don't remember what theme we're using, so we're going to check it out. So 2017. So we're going to go back here, make sure we're editing the right one. Cool, cool, cool. Now for these scripts, you want to add to the closing body tag. You don't want to add it to the header. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to load that fast. And basically all the elements on the page you want to be available before the script runs, so that way you can find everything. So we're going to go into this here, theme footer. This one's very obvious. Most themes will have something like this. The main thing is if you can't see the name and it's named something else, look in these parentheses, footer.php. That's how you know. Easy. So we have this. We're editing the footer. You see this. Now be very cautious of anything you do in here because you can break things. But if you're not doing anything crazy, what you could do is you just take the script here. We're going to go ahead and copy this. And we're going to just paste this right at the end here. And we're going to update the file. Now if I go to the website again, if you remember last time the CallRail plugin included the script. Now if I check this again, and we're going to look for the script to make sure it's in here, right? So we're going to search for it. You could see it was added directly above the closing body tag. Now it doesn't have the comment saying, hey, this is a CallRail script, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Doesn't really matter, but it's added. So that's another way to do it. Again, I don't really recommend it this way because if you update your theme, something happens, you change your theme even, guess what? The CallRail script is gone and you lose call tracking. No bueno. So that's one way, another way. An alternative way to do this is to use a plugin. So what I'm going to do is remove this, so that way it's like it was before we did this. And there are tons of plugins for this. Now, I picked one here, header and footer scripts by these guys over here. You can go ahead and use this one too. I've actually never tested it, so this is a first run here. If not, there's a bunch of others, plugins that you can add to do this. So same thing, you would just do add new. I'm just opening in a new tab to make it a little bit easier. And if we just look for scripts, easy, right? So we go into this and you would find something, again, like I found this one here and I went to install this. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and activate this. Okay, great. Now that this is active, we're going to go into settings and header and footer scripts. Now inside of here, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take this script and you're going to paste it in the footer. Now we're going to hit save and you're going to see real quick that this is the exact same thing. We're going to do the same thing and double check the website and make sure it actually has a script. So we're in here and we can see it. Beautiful. So that's good. Okay, so when we were installing these scripts, I showed you how to check for the script to see if it was installed using this inspect tool. Now that's a little bit more developer friendly, and that is just my workflow. You actually don't need to do that because CallRail includes a way to test the script. So if you were to log into CallRail and you're still in the same location of dynamic number insertion where you grab the script up here, if you scroll down, you can actually see here test dynamic number insertion. In addition to that, it actually just checks your code snippet status right here. This is what we're going to be looking at. Now, I don't really need to do this because I already know it's in there, but basically what you would do is you have ParaCore in here, which is our website, obviously, and if you click on Start Test, it would go ahead and check to see if the code snippet was installed. This will tell you if there's any issues with it, if it's installed in the wrong area, or whatever is going on with that. In addition to that, there's this new feature down here that actually checks your numbers to see if it is actually swapping properly and if it can be tested. In this context, you can see this is not able to be tested. Our main website is working okay. Outdoor Adventure Marketing, it seems like there's an issue with the swap target. Same with the call extension, but again, add extensions, we can't really test that in here as it says, so that's kind of weird it says that, but not going to worry about it. And this one here says that's okay, and that's fine. All right, now I'm going to show you what happens on the website when it gets swapped. Remember at the very beginning of this video where I had all the phone numbers? Now check it out. Let's see what it looks like. So if we scroll down here, you can see that all these numbers are swapped. And if I go ahead and refresh here, I'll show you. You might be able to see it swap real fast. Okay, it's so fast you can't even see it. Let's try it one more time. Nope. All right, my local environment. So let me go ahead and do this instead. If I go in here, we go to the post itself. We're going to edit this. You can see the number here is our main phone number, 480-812-4822. Now, when you go on here, obviously that's a different number, and in addition to that, if I go into numbers here and check the keyword pool, what number is being used here? 888. So it's actually not a keyword pool. and 287. So that's this one right here. So the website is being swapped with this number right here, as you can see. So when you dial this number, which is the one you see here, it would actually forward to our real number over here. Now, again, I showed you all the different formats, and that CallRail will swap it smartly in the sense of that it keeps the same format that you have here. So as you can tell, no matter how you format your phone number, it'll keep that same format. We have parentheses here, we got dashes, we got periods, we got the country code, in basically every way possible, including, in addition to that, you can actually see the link at the bottom left of my window here is actually updated to the correct phone number. Now this one, I realized I was actually missing the 1 in here, so it wasn't swapping the country code in the dial to. You do want to make sure that the dial number here with the telephone attribute is the same. So now when I do this, if you notice here, it's missing the 1 on the bottom left of the window. I'll go ahead and highlight that post edit. And when I refresh this now and you check it out, it retains the 1, but still has the 888 number, and that's good. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is how to test the number swap. In this context, it'll be from a Google ad click. Now, if you remember here, this got swapped with our website phone number, 888-287, which shows right here, 888-287, right? And now, depending on how you have it set up and whatever your rules are, here we have a Google paid one, so I'm going to show you what happens and how to test that. So in here, I have an incognito window, because keep in mind, cookies. CallRail puts a cookie, so if you visited it once, if I visit this again, it'll show me the same number. Now, since I'm doing a fresh test, I'm going to want to use a fresh window. What I always like to do is just open a new incognito window, alternatively pull up Safari, Firefox, use a different browser you never use often. You can always clear your cookies, that works too, but I find it to take a little too much effort. So I go ahead and just open an incognito window because that's really fast. So in this case, we have the website pulled up here, and because this is set to Google paid, and every ad service has a different way of being detected through CallRail, but we'll go over Google paid this time. So in this context, CallRail actually looks for a parameter in the URL that Google sets, and this is GCLID. And you're going to notice I put a question mark in front of this. That just lets the code know, hey, this is a parameter. So we have question mark after the URL, GCLID, which is Google Click ID. That's basically what it stands for, equals, and you can put whatever you want here, but I always just put test, and this will tell CallRail, hey, this person came from a Google ad. Even though I didn't really, it will simulate it. So when I do this and I scroll down now, check it out. See, the number is a little bit different. Here we have the 888 number, and over here we have the 480-360 number. And this 480-360 number associates with this one here. Now this is labeled as a call extension, but this is Google paid, and this may be a little confusing. But just because of the way this is set up, it's actually going to swap it this way. Okay, so in addition to CallRail swapping text phone numbers, it can actually swap image phone numbers, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that and how to get that set up. For instance, if you have a phone number in a hero, a slider, something like that, you can actually get that phone number to swap too. Now it'll be a little different in every environment, but I'll show you the basics on like what's actually required for this. So there's 2 key items here. I guess maybe 3. First, we need an image with every phone number, because if you're going to swap it with another image, what number is going to go on there? So you would create an image with every phone number, and that's 1. 2, you're going to want to name these in a very specific way. I just named it phone number. This could be whatever you want. It could say hero, slider, whatever. Doesn't matter. What CallRail looks for is that there is a period and the phone number before the extension. So .jpeg, .png, whatever you got going on there. So this period and the phone number is basically the phone number that shows inside the image. So as you can see here, this is the 480-812 number, which is our real number, the swap target. We have the CallRail number, 888-287, and then we have another Google ad specific CallRail number as 480-360. I'll show you how to do this inside the native WordPress CMS. But before we get to that, the last thing is you need a class here of CR_image, and this is just an attribute for the image element here. Not going to get too technical, that's basically it. But I'll show you how to do it in WordPress. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go in here, we're going to edit our post. Now I had this in here already because I was testing it, but this is our page right here, what we're seeing, right? So we're going to go back and we're going to add the media. So I've already uploaded it in here, and you can see all the different numbers, right? They associate to the file name accordingly, right here. Now, when you click on this and you insert the image, you have to be extra careful because WordPress actually saves thumbnails, and you can install, or not install, but insert the thumbnail version. By default, it will probably be set to thumbnail or medium, whichever. Chances are it's not on the full size. And when you do that, let me show you what happens. So if we do medium, for instance, and we insert this, there's going to be an issue here. And if we look at this, you can see we have the phone number, but in addition to that, WordPress adds on the size here. Now that makes sense, but in this context, we actually don't want that because CallRail would not pick this up because it would read this entire thing right here as a phone number. And if you don't see the text like this, you might be in the visual view. So in the visual view, it will actually show you what it looks like. So as you can see here, this is the phone number image, but I like to work in the text view, and in this case, you'll need to go in the text view to edit it. So we'll go back into the text view here. Again, this is the wrong size, so what we're going to do is replace this with the full image, because the full image won't have that at the end of the URL. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. We're going to add media again, and on size, this time we're going to click full. We're going to insert this into the post. Check out the URL. This is perfect. Phone number has the correct number, the swap target number, and one last thing is missing, and that is this class, CR_image. Now WordPress already adds classes, so we can look for this attribute here, and it says class equals align none, size full, WordPress image 98. Now what we're going to want to do is just add another class in here inside these parentheses, so in between that parenthesis and this parenthesis. Doesn't matter where it goes in here. You can put it at the beginning, you can put it in the middle, doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is hit space, make sure it's a new class, and we're going to add CR_image. Perfect. Now that is ready. We have this class added. We have the file with the correct naming convention. And in addition to that, we have the correct images with the swap targets. Now I believe these all have to be installed in the same location as well, because it will just update this here. So you have to make sure these are all installed in the same folder. The path will have to be like that. So we're going to go ahead and update this page, and we're going to check it out now. So if we go here, we're going to refresh this. You can see, whoa, that swapped it. Look, 888-287-3335. Now we have another test here with the Google ad click, and let me show you what happens with this one. Again, I created all three, so if you look here, add media, we have a number for each one, right? So we'll go back, and we're going to go ahead and refresh this page, and you can see here this got swapped with the 480-360 number. Okay, so initially I mentioned that you need to edit it inside this text view. You actually don't need to. I just prefer to edit it in this view. If you prefer to work in the visual view, this is actually fine too. And in addition to that, I did a little bit more testing, and CallRail is actually smart enough to where if you do use these thumbnails or medium size or whatever, it actually will still swap it properly. So earlier I mentioned that this would interfere with the swap. Turns out it actually doesn't. I think as long as it has this part before, so the period and the phone number that's in the image and the extension somewhere in here, I think that works. So in this case, I left it as the medium thumbnail, and this will actually still swap. So again, if we go into the visual editor side, let me show you how to do it from over here. So if you click on the image, you inserted it, you're going to go ahead and click this edit button. This will normally be hidden. If you go ahead and click on advanced options, you can see the same thing here, image CSS class. Now that I've already added it, it shows up here. But basically this would be blank, and what you would do is you would add CR_image in here and hit update. Now this would work. I'm going to go ahead and update this page and show you that it works. in addition to using the medium size image. Initially I didn't think that would work, but it does. So if I refresh the page here, you can see this is getting swapped with the correct number, and if I go ahead and inspect this, you can actually see it is the correct image, and it did keep the same thumbnail size. Interesting. So that's good, and if you want to edit it in the visual view, go right ahead. You don't need to do it in the text view. Now let me show you what happens on a fresh browser, which again would show the exact same thing as this here. So we're going to go ahead and grab this and do this. Cool. 888-287-3335. That is the swap number. If we go check the post, obviously none of these show that. So this is the number that would show if you didn't have a CallRail number set up. Alright, I think that wraps up installing CallRail on a WordPress website. I showed you a couple of different ways on how to do that and how to ensure that it's actually working. Thanks for watching this video. Hope it comes in handy.